Helo pawb, helo everybody, Cheryl sydd yma o Gwasanaeth Ieuenctid Sir Ddinbych. It's Cheryl here from Denbighshire Youth Service. So gawn ni gweld pwy sydd yna. Everybody say hello os ma' 'na rhywun yna. And if there's anybody there, please say hello. Give me a big wave, give me a text, pictures, anything that you like. So welcome to Wellbeing Wednesday's session. So this platform is as we would usually operate any other platforms. If there are comments going on in the comment boxes, please do remember no bad language, no swearing and all of that kind of business. We wouldn't accept that kind of behaviour with any of our youth centres across Denbighshire, and we wouldn't accept that kind of behaviour with this online platform. It's about just respecting yourselves, respecting each other, and respecting the platform, and all of them wonderful things. Just before I start the session this evening, if there is anything that you do want to discuss in a personal space that I'm going to be talking through throughout this session, please do get in contact with any of our youth workers. All of their details, their email addresses and contact numbers are all on the DCC Youth Service website. That also can be found on the WhatsApp and Facebook pages. Mae'r sesiwn hwn yn ddwyieithog, so mae'n croeso chi gyrraedd negeseuon yn Gymraeg neu'n Saesneg. These sessions are fully bilingual, so you can send your messages in Welsh or English and I can translate them so that you guys can all jump on board with the conversations that are going on. Croeso I Wellbeing Wednesday. Welcome to Wellbeing Wednesday. So this session today is all going to be about values and beliefs. Okay, so sometimes it's a little bit hard to understand, well, what's the difference between the value, what's the difference between a belief? And we're all going through difficult times at the moment, and understanding relationships in terms of friends, family, colleagues, work friends, school friends, all them different kinds of things. But what's really important is to understand how do we appreciate and how do we understand and respond in relationships, no matter what kind of relationships they are. So the way that we can do that is through understanding our values and beliefs, and why the way that sometimes people treat each other in certain ways, or why you may even treat somebody in a certain way and think, actually, is that acceptable? Is that not acceptable? Would I like to be treated like that or not? Okay, so we've got some suggestions here. So what we are saying is that values, that ideas that are very important to us. So for example, my idea is having a wonderful, I value, for example, I value money, I value life, I value family, friends, being able to afford some nice things in life. So they're the type of things that I value. I value trust, respect and honesty within relationships and all different things. So these different types of values govern the way that we behave, communicate and interact with each other. So depending on what you think that's important to you will depend how you respond in a certain way. So for example, if I didn't appreciate, so I didn't value swearing, or somebody swearing at me, then I may respond negatively, or I may not respond at all and not get into that conversation or communication with that certain individual. Whereas if they would have said that sentence without swearing, then maybe I would have responded differently. But that's just based on values, for example, that myself or somebody else may hold. So belief is a concept that we hold to be true. So it's something that you truly believe in, so like God or religion, or do you totally believe in life after death? Do you believe in euthanasia? Do you believe in reincarnation? All of them different kind of things that we truly believe. Do you believe that karma will come around eventually? So beliefs may become religions, but not always. So please do always bear that in mind. So that's the difference between a value, and that's the difference between a belief, okay? So values and beliefs determine our attitudes and opinions of things and the way in life. So many of things in our lives happen as we grow and learn from our family, friends, communities, and these help to form who we are as individuals. They teach us about the wrongs and the rights in our life, depending on the people and the places around us. So, for example, let's just use this as an example now. Your family might not agree that you have your telephones at the dinner table at tea time. So then as you get older, because the community and your family as a whole may believe that you don't have your phones at the dinner table at tea time. So as you get older, that's your values and belief that's instilled into you from people around you, and this is how we come to understand and appreciate. So either you would continue them values and beliefs as you get older. Sometimes as you get older, you're able to critically think about things. So think, actually, do I believe in that? Do I agree with it? Do I not agree with it? Why don't I agree with it? Why do I agree with it? Does that make sense? Okay, so, and this is how then we come to understand our own personal values and beliefs, and we make our own idea of situations that we're in, or situations that we believe in. So this image is just demonstrating what I've previously just told you. So as we get older, that we learn to make our own judgments on life and what we believe is right or wrong based on everything that we've learned around us. So for example, when you're a little baby, you would not believe it, but all of these things that go on in your life and all of these things that happen, they start to form an idea in your mind. And as you get older and older, these values and beliefs will be instilled, and then probably when you get to like teenage years or something like that, then that's when your critical mind starts to expand a little bit, and you start to question things and start to say, well, why am I doing that? Why do I have to do that? Sometimes this can get us in trouble in school when you're questioning things in school, and the teacher saying, don't be arguing with me. Actually, you may be arguing, you may not be arguing, you may simply just be asking, why? Why is that happening? And these help you to understand and to make sense of situations. However, if people are not giving you them answers, then you're still left wondering, well, why? And sometimes it can cause a lot of frustration, arguments, and different bits and bobs like that. So yeah, as time gets on and on and on, that all of these, as you start to question things a little bit more, start to challenge things, and don't see challenging things as in a negative way, challenging things as a good way, because actually it brings about change, and it brings about sometimes positive change as well as negative. Although that we see challenges as a negative thing, it is actually a very positive thing if people take it in the correct way. So then as we get older, we learn to develop and understand our own values and beliefs, our own rights and wrongs about the world and what's going on all around us. And even as we get into adulthood, we might have our own children, and we might have our values of belief of how to bring up our children that's come from your parents from when you was younger. Or actually, you might think, actually, I didn't really agree with that. What your family and your friends and the communities and the midwives and the health visitors may be saying, you need to be doing this with your child. Well, actually, do you really want to do that? Why are you doing that? Always question these things, because this is when you understand who you truly are, what your true values and beliefs are, or actually, are they just other people's opinions that have been pushed onto you? So always think, actually, do I believe that? What do I believe that about? Why do I believe it? Understand your own beliefs. Understand why things are important to you, why things are not important to you. So, for example, last week we spoke about not my circus, not my monkey. Okay, so that might be a value that you get your opinion right. It's really important that you get your point across and that everybody's heard, and that's really important to you. So that might be a value and your belief that everybody should have their say. Actually, if it's causing conflict and upset, is that maybe a right thing? Is that a negative thing? And also think about, not my circus, not my monkey, so why would you want to get involved with it if it's somebody else's drama kind of thing? So all of these, take on board and think about them. So what do you believe that is important in your life? So for example, do you believe that education is important? And actually, do you believe that education is important because your parents or your grandparents have said, or the rest of your siblings or the whole family have been to university, and now actually you're like, oh my God, I don't want to go, but I can't not go because everybody else, they'll be disappointed in me, because that's your family's values and beliefs that when you finish school, you have to go to university. So all of these things are really important for you to think about and consider. What are my true values and beliefs? Do I believe that university is the right way forward? Do I believe that you have to go to university to have a good education, and all them different bits and bobs? So there's stuff like education, family, money. Some people will say, actually, money is nice to have. Although, on the other hand, if you've got too much money, people are too busy working and just buying people things with their money. Or actually, is it better to have not so much money so that you appreciate things a lot more in life, and that you're a bit more creative, because you have to use a creative mind if you haven't got them things? Is your appearance important? Is owning the car or a certain type of car important to you? Housing, schooling, property, where you live, what type of house you live in, your friends, trust, honesty, and time. So these are lots of different examples of what can be important to some people and what cannot be important. So for example, I absolutely value honesty, trust, and people's time, friendship, families, and time with the family. So that's an example of valuing, and I do believe that it's important to spend time with your family for health and well-being and for people to grow. But they're just like, for example, my point of views, other people's points of views. Some people may not agree with that. They may not have the same values and beliefs as myself or anybody else. But then, do I question, actually, is it important to spend time with my family all the time? Is it? Or is it important that actually spend some time with my family, sometimes with work, and sometimes I want to spend it by myself? We need to work out what's important and what's not important in life. So have a think. What do you think that's important in your life? So guys, this is a little bit hard. I'm not too sure if you guys will be able to see this. I'll try and bring it in a little bit further there. So this is all about respect. So this little guy here has got lots of different words all around him. So what he's saying is that we have different type of relationships that we've already spoken about, okay? And we will all want to have relationships with people who respect our opinions, and are encouraging us and supporting us during our hardest times. So, for example, COVID. We've just had COVID-19. That's probably one of the hardest times, and still one of the hardest times that we're currently going through. And we need to know, who can we turn to? Who do I respect enough? Who do I value enough to be able to give me that advice and support in the correct way? So it's important to have a clear idea of how we want to be treated by people. Because if you're saying, actually, I want you to treat me like a queen, for example. I want you to challenge me. I want you to treat me honestly. I want you to be impressed by me. All these different terminologies. So what I want you to do is take time to think, Like, what is important to you within a relationship? Is it important that somebody's committed to you? Is somebody being in control and controlling you important to you? So what I would like for you to do is think about lots of different things, and what in a relationship, whether this be a sexual relationship, friendship, family, work colleagues, teachers, youth workers, neighbours, all them different kind of things. What do you appreciate? What do you value? And what do you believe is important? And when you do understand and realise them things, please feel free to share them with us, or even draw your own little guy. I'd love to see that, and write all different things around them of what that you appreciate in other people, or how do you expect people to treat you. But just remember that if you expect people to treat you in a certain way, maybe you need to also think about how you treat people as well. So that's also important, because respect works both ways at the end of the day. So, what kind of things that we can do to work towards a healthy relationship? Take time, sit back and relax and think, well, maybe things are not great at the moment. Actually, what isn't great about your relationship? What can you do to make things better? So here's an example of talking. And the reason why we've got scales on here is because relationships are all about an equal balance. It can't be give for somebody and take by somebody else. That's not an equal balanced relationship. And if you don't have an equal balanced relationship, then that's when the cracks are going to start to show. That's where things are going to start breaking down and not working out very well. So have a think. What do you consider to be a healthy relationship? Talking, honesty, somebody to be trustworthy. Have a think of all of them other things that we've spoken about previously around this little guy and how you expect people to be treating you. Have a think, how do you want them things to work out within a relationship? And last but not least, guys, I've got a little challenge for you. Okay, so part of this challenge is called a friendship wreath. You don't have to do a wreath. You can do a simple hand-painted one. You could do one with lots of different materials. Depends how creative you are, really. You can just do one with pen and paper. What makes you a good friend? Have a think about it. So, all you'll need for a simple friendship wreath is pen and paper. You just need to draw around your hands like this several times, cut all the way around it on the piece of paper, not your hands obviously. We don't want anybody to be cutting their fingers off. Oh no thanks. So yeah, draw around your hands, and then what you're going to do is get some glue or sellotape or staplers, whatever you've got at home. Be creative, use your imagination, and then you're going to stick all of the hands together like this. But when you're sticking them together around the wreath, make sure, just like on this image here, that the fingers are pointing outwards. And then on each hand, what I want you to do is write a sentence. I like people who, and then write there an example, and that's what will be your friendship wreath. All the different examples, all the different things, going all the way around like this. Oh, that's a bit hard, isn't it? Hurt your wrist a bit. Don't try that at home, guys. So yeah, have a go at that. Try all of them different things and write about all of the different things that you like, that you appreciate, you respect, you value, and believe is important in relationships. And then cut them out with the fingers pointing outwards. So the reason why that I'm saying pointing outwards is because it goes to show that you're reaching out to each other. See, that's quite clever, that, isn't it? Do you like it? Friendship things. If it's pointing inwards, you're not really reaching out, are you? If you put your hands like this, imagine the friendship, that's quite closed. It's quite a closed circle, isn't it? However, if you're reaching out with your hands, look how open and stretching out and attractive it is. So yeah, that is your little challenge for the week. When you have done that, please do send them in to me. I would love, love, love to see what you guys have been creating at home, what you've been up to, what you've been doing. I know that it's half term coming up soon for some of you guys, and you're probably thinking, yes, school's out for summer. But please do still be careful when you're out and about. Please do think about your relationships, in and out of school. And also, it's a good time for you guys to sit back and reflect. Actually, are some of the relationships that you have in school positive or negative ones? If you're finding that they are negative and they do have a negative influence in your life, now is the golden opportunity for you to be able to distance yourself. We have been, I would say, fortunate. You guys may think differently depending on your whole situation, but for me, COVID has been an absolute golden opportunity to find who you are, to challenge you through difficult and hard times, to test your strength and determination, and to find out, like I said, who you really are. What are your true values and beliefs? Some of you guys out there may have even, might have taken this opportunity to understand and realize a lot of these things. For those of you that haven't, don't worry, have a look at this video. It'll give you a little bit of guidance. If you want to have a go at making the wreath, go ahead. I would absolutely love to see them. Please don't forget to send them in. That'll be brilliant. Absolutely fab. So guys, last but not least, just remember that if you do need any advice, guidance, or support about anything at all, no matter how big or small it is, please do contact us within the Youth Service, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, DCC Youth Service website, Academy, and all of those different things. And remember that you can always speak to a responsible adult as well, or a friend. Please don't try and bottle things up, because that's when things do get a little bit hard and difficult for us to manage. And also, we have got the wonderful Childline. Childline's absolutely brilliant, and they're open 24/7. So if you can't get hold of a youth worker, please do contact them. Please do reach out for somebody else. So that's all for now. So diolch yn fawr am cymryd rhan. Thank you very much for taking part. I hope that you're all keeping safe. Dwi'n gobeithio da chi gyd yn cadael yn saff. If there's anything that you do want to see in video-wise, any advice or support, and different bits and bobs that you'd like for us to upload, or do videos of, or arts and crafts and different things like that, please do let us know. Please email your youth worker, Facebook, Twitter, DCC, all of them wonderful things that we've got out there. Please do let us know, and we will try our very, very best to get one of these videos out to you. So, diolch yn fawr am cymryd rhan. Na gweld chi'n iawn. Hwyl fawr pawb. Goodbye everybody else. Take care.